Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good morning in some parts of the world. How are you? How are you? Well, welcome to Love Still Matters After the Vows. We are glad to be here with you on this Sunday night. Amen. In my part of the world, it is evening, and we are glad to be here. And so I am Stacy.
And I am Ray.
And we are the
Lovebirds.
And so we are not going to waste any time tonight. Last week, we talked about a lot of stuff last week, and we ended up talking about more communication. And so I just want to share a few things before we really get started on our topic tonight. I have been getting a lot of inboxes, messages and text messages asking about, can people tune in because they're not married? Absolutely. You certainly can tune in even though you are not married, because listen, on the road to marriage, in the marriage, and sometimes even out of the marriage, this is for anyone who is willing to listen, right? It's for anyone who's willing to listen. And again, we are not any marriage experts. We are not marriage experts by no means, but listen, we've been through it. God has seen us through it, and we've done it. And so we are approaching 25 years in marriage. And you know what? We have
silver anniversary.
Seen a lot of ups and downs, but we are in it to win it. Right? We are in it to win it.
Right.
No matter what may come, no matter what may go, no matter what storms may come our way, we are in it to win it. And so we are on each week to try to encourage someone, empower someone, to strengthen their marriage, to make it better, or to just
strengthen your relationship.
Because
that's where it begins, in the relationship.
That's right. And so good evening to everyone who's watching. Good evening, Missionary Addison. Good evening to my sister Monica from Virginia. Thank you so much for joining in. If you could type in where you are from, we can continue to address you on the show. But tonight we want to talk about communication, right? We want to continue to talk about communication. We want to talk about boundaries, marriage boundaries, relationship boundaries. We want to talk about it tonight. So listen, buckle up. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Because I see a lot of people. Good evening, Evangelist Connie. Good evening. She's newly married. Congratulations. And so I want to talk about people in your relationship, right? People in your relationship. Go ahead, honey. I know you want to say something.
No, I was going to say, you know, in any relationship, whether you're married or you're single, there's always folk that we let into our relationships. And you have to know how much you can let them come in, okay? Because certain things that you say and certain things you divulge to other people will come back and mess up your relationship. Go ahead.
And so I just wanted to talk about that tonight because, listen, I'm sorry. I see so many people posting their personal information on Facebook. And listen, I'm one who likes to read the comments. I want to read the comments. I want to see what's said. I mean, I might not post on it. I might not say anything, but I want to read the comments. And I've seen a lot of people who are single giving married people advice. Stop it. Stop it. I'm going to just put it out there. Stop it. Because what you are doing and some of the things that you are saying is tearing apart their marriage. It's tearing apart their marriage. Now, if I've never
driven a car
or built a house, how can I tell you about you building your house?
How can you tell your brother how to handle his relationship and you ain't nobody in your relationship? You ain't got no woman. How can your girlfriend tell you how to keep and she ain't got a man?
Well,
come on, somebody.
We're going to lose some viewers here.
Talk to me.
But it's okay. It's all right, babe. But listen, I just want people to stop the shenanigans. Listen, stop it. If you are single and you are not married, listen, encourage your single friends. Encourage your single friends. If you are married, right? And you are going through a situation in your marriage and you need to talk to somebody, listen, seek some therapy. Seek a therapist, seek a marriage counselor, seek someone who deals in marriage. Because what you will find, someone sowing negative seeds into your relationship. Look, see, I'm gonna apologize if our stream is fading in and out. I am not sure what's going on. We have Cox cable here with our StreamYard, so I'm just gonna put that out here. And I noticed last week it was fading in and out, so I do apologize for that. But I just want to make sure that we get this out within our 30 minutes that we have on this show tonight. Listen, if you do not keep people out of your relationship and your marriage, you won't make it to the 25, 50, 75 mark. Because everybody don't want to see you win. And some of those same people who are telling you, girl, put him out. Don't let him stay with you. He ain't nothing but a dog. My Aunt Lucille, Mother Womack says it the best. Somebody out there saying, get out of here, you dirty, rotten dog, while some other woman is saying, here, come on, kitty, kitty. Those same people sometimes are after your man. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. And I know you're probably like, gee, she on 1,000. I am, because I seen some posts this week that I wanted to really reply and jump in those comments and say some things to people. But you know what? If you put your business out there on social media for everyone to see, and you put it out there for thousands of people to read, then you know what? That's between you and them.
Yes. I know we all have this friend that we like to confide in and tell them our innermost secrets. But you got to be careful about who you talk to. Because, see, once you let out your business, ain't no telling what they're going to think. You going to the cookout with your significant other or your husband, and you don't told them about the dirty thing he done did. Now they looking at him cockeyed and don't want to say nothing to him and giving him the stank face. And he said, well, what's wrong with them? Then normally Judy usually speaks to me. What's up with Judy? What's going on? And it's the same thing with family. You can't run and tell your family, I know somebody ain't gonna like this, but you can't run and tell your family everything. Because at the family Thanksgiving dinner, at the cookout, it'll be the same thing. You done ran and told this business about how he or she ain't what they supposed to be, and they looking at you funny across the table. Keep folk out your business. I tell people in counseling all the time, if you got an issue with your wife or your boyfriend, y'all need to do is this thing right here. Y'all need to get together, you and them, and pray about it. And if you can't pray about it, but you got to just tell somebody, get in your car and yell to God about what's going on. Go take a walk in the woods and be like a crazy person and walk down the street and talk to yourself. Don't let folk in your business. Because my grandmother used to always say, misery love company. And as my dear wife said, 9 times out of 10, most folk ain't happy to see you because you got somebody. Especially if they ain't got nobody. They ain't gonna be happy. Now I can tell you a little story.
How long is gonna be?
No, it's gonna be short.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you about haters. On our wedding day.
Oh, don't tell that story yet. No, don't tell that story yet. No, please. We building up to getting viewers. Don't tell that story yet. No, don't tell that story yet.
Okay, I won't.
Oh no, don't tell that story.
I'm gonna tell that story.
Okay, you don't you tell that story yet. Oh no, don't tell that story. Tell another story, but don't tell that story yet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna move on. But I'm still stuck on the cockeyed. Did you say how old is the word cockeyed? Who even uses that word anymore? Cockeyed.
You know I'm old as dirt.
All right. But anyway, listen. So I mean, he is right. But my mom always says, when you tell somebody your business, listen, they now mad at your husband. You not mad at your husband no more, but they don't stop speaking to him from the things that you said when you were mad and you were upset. right? So listen, communicate with one another. If you must find somebody to talk to, listen, prayer is essential. Prayer changes things. It really does. Prayer really changes things. And I talked about last week at the end of the show that prayer is a simple conversation, right? It's a simple conversation between you and the Lord. It's a conversation that you are having. If you must talk to somebody and you have nobody to talk to, listen, again, there are people, professionals who get paid to do this. There are people that you can talk to and come and talk, enrichment, marriage enrichment specialists and things of that nature that you can go and talk to. But please stop it.
Stop telling folk your
Please
business.
stop it. Because the things that I'm seeing on social media, you really don't need to post everything about your life on social media, because everybody is not for you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody is not for you. Even some of the people who are on here watching, they're not for me. They just want to see what I'm talking about. And that's fine and well too. But I'm trying to really honestly help somebody. I'm trying to help somebody be better in their marriage. Make your marriage better. Strengthen your marriage, because I've seen a lot of things in COVID, right? I've seen a lot of things in COVID. I surf social media all the time. I really do. I surf social media all the time. And in COVID, I've seen people either becoming stronger together or further apart. People were so lost in being in their homes. Guess what? Married couples being lost in their home, being confined 24 hours a day with one another, could not stand it. They did not like it. And therefore, it caused them a lot of tension in their home, a lot of stress in their home. And guess what? There were a lot of divorces that were filed at the end of COVID. Don't believe me? Look it up. Many people filed for divorce in this season of COVID.
But even those of you who are single out there, you got to be careful who you tell about your relationship. Listen, I understand we all need somebody to confide in, somebody to talk to. But I'm here to tell you, your best bet, if you can't talk it out with that person, then you need to go out somewhere, be alone by yourself, and just talk it into the atmosphere. Because this is the thing. There used to be an experiment we did in psychology class in college. The professor would tell somebody something at the beginning of the class, at the very first desk, and tell them, turn around and tell them what I said to the next person, and have it go all the way around the room. By the time it got to the other side of the room, to the person in the first desk at the front of the class, the story had completely changed.
And that's what happens.
And that's what happens when you tell somebody your business. And then when you find out, now you're upset with them, they're upset with you because you don't call them out about it. And they're talking about, that ain't what I said. That ain't what I said. No, that might not be what you said, but they don't told somebody else, and somebody else don't told somebody else, and the story changes each time you tell somebody.
My mom's watching. She said, why would let me go back to the comment. I'm trying to get it here. She said, why would someone without a man tell you how to keep a man, and why would you listen to him? Good point. Good point. My mother always taught me, keep people out of your business. And I see sis here saying people get mad because you don't tell them your business. Listen, you don't have to tell them your business. People, I'm going to say this one more time tonight.
Say it.
I'm going to say it one more time.
Say it then.
Everybody not for you. Everybody not happy for you. They're not. I'm being honest. And I'm talking about Christians as well, because Christians, some of us Christians, we do some stuff. We do some stuff that is not for one another. All we want to do is find out the business so that we can go and gossip and talk about it. It's wrong. Stop it. Tonight, I'm on the stop it mode. Stop it. Listen, seriously, pray for your brother and pray for your sister, because there are a lot of people who are lost, and there are a lot of people who are broken, and there are a lot of people who really don't know who they can talk to because they have been led astray by people that they trusted. I'm going to be honest with you. And so I'm a little upset about it. I couldn't wait to come on here this Sunday and talk about it, because this is what God has given me to do. right? He's given me this responsibility to get on here and talk to married people. Now, I'm going to say this.
Not just married people, but single people too.
Single people too. We're addressing everybody. I'm sorry.
That's right.
But I want to say this. This is to couples. This is to couples. Listen.
That's two peoples.
You need to learn how to communicate with your spouse. Women, right? You need to learn how to communicate with your spouse because there's some woman out there with a listening ear.
Brothers, you need to learn to communicate with your spouse too, or your significant other. Because guess what? Just like you thought she had a fine brown frame and she's the one for you, some of your boys might be looking too. Because don't you know, Jody can creep.
Don't say no names.
I just said Jody.
Okay. All right. I know they'll think you're talking about them. But listen, on the real, that sister who want to listen and be there for your husband, and I'm just here to help. The closer she gets to him listening, the more she into his lap. And then she's on his lap. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it real. Because I have seen things, right? I have seen things and I have seen people, and it's not my place. It's not my place. It's not my place to get involved unless somebody invites me in, right? Much like the Lord. He's a gentleman. He's going to stand at the door and knock. If you invite me in, then I will share. You're on this show, so you want to hear. So I'm saying to all of the couples on here tonight, all of the single women, listen, who are on the road to marriage. If you are in a relationship and people want to get into your affairs with your relationship, listen, clink, clink, lock it down. It's not for them. It is not for them. We need to learn how to be accountable for our own actions. We wonder why we have so much problems in our marriage. We created them by the people that we invited in. Okay? We invited them in. They've gone out and shared what your struggle was with your spouse, with your relationship, and now everybody's in your business. If the two of you can't get together and work it out before you're married, then guess what? That's not the person for you.
My dear father, Ray Sr., used to always say, folk gonna talk about you if you're doing good, and they gonna talk about you if you're doing bad. If they ain't putting no food in your mouth, or buying you no clothes to wear, or giving you a place to stay, they don't need to be in your business. And that's just a fact.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I had some friends who were sick. Right? They were sick. They were sick from COVID. Many people I know were sick from COVID, right? Love is an action word. I'm going to say this. Love is an action word. I checked on them. I honestly did check on them. I checked on them because I was worried about their well-being. I was worried about their family. I wasn't trying to intrude in their relationship or anything of that nature. I honestly wanted to help them. Right? I wanted to help them. I wanted to help their children because when two people are sick, it's hard on a couple. It's very hard on a couple, right? I want to know how many of your friends call to check on you when you're sick and say, you know what? Here's something for dinner because I know that the two of you are not feeling well. Here's some medication. Can I drop this off to you? Because I know that you are sick. Is there anything that I can do to help your family? We're not all in the business about what's going on. Because listen, when we sick, we know we can be cranky and ornery, right? We can, especially as women, when we are not feeling well.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, as long as it's not about me.
And God forbid, y'all got little ones in the household. It's a strain on everybody because the kids need your time. The mister needs your time. The madam needs your time. And if you ain't feeling well, come on, y'all. You know how we get. If we ain't feeling good, we don't want to be bothered with nobody.
Listen, I really just want to help somebody. I really just want to help somebody on tonight. Your relationship is personal. Your relationship is personal. between you and the person that you are in a relationship with. Now I'm seeing some of your comments here, and I love to invite the audience in so that we can answer some of your questions and some of your comments. How do some of you feel about this? People being in your relationships. How do you address when people try to meddle in your affairs? How do you feel when you see people asking questions that really is none of their business? How do you respond? What do you say to them? What do you say? I'm sorry, I don't want to share that information with you. I'm sorry, this does not concern you. I want to hear it. What do you say? What do you say? What do people say? I mean, I'm not seeing too many comments here as to what you say. It's okay to tell people to mind your business, right? It's not what you say, but it's how you say it. I constantly say that all the time. It's not what you say, but how you say it. You can say it in a very loving manner. You can say it in a very loving manner to them, right? You want to say anything else?
I was going to say, as an example, if you have your friend, male or female, and they'll say, well, how you and your woman doing, or how you and your man doing, and if you're going through stuff, you ain't got to divorce. Oh man, we having a hard time, or he did this. And listen, let that go. Say we okay. We working through some stuff. Like what? It's it ain't that important. We working it out together.
Okay.
We're doing this together. We gonna work it out.
We have some people say that doesn't concern you. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I've told my own family it's not their business and it's turned sour. It's gonna turn sour. It's gonna turn sour because they're mad. They're mad because you're not sharing your personal information. Amen. We have what we have here. I don't allow others into our relationship. When asked about us, I simply tell them that's between he and I. And so these are good things. Mother Harris says, let's pray about it because I'm not going to talk about it. Amen. If you offer to pray with somebody, that's another thing, right? When somebody want to get in your business and you ask them, come on, let's just pray about it. They quick to get off the phone. They quick to get off the phone. They quick to end the conversation. That's very true, Mother Harris. They are very quick to end that conversation. And so, anything else you want to say about this? Because I got to add one more thing that's on my heart.
You good. You good.
And so, and when you get into these places with your spouse, significant other, your boyfriend, whoever, girlfriend, whoever it is, listen, when you are angry, right? When you are angry, still communicate, right? Still communicate. Even if you have to send a text, if you have to send a voice message, if you have to write a note and leave it on the bed, leave it on the table, never go to bed angry. Never go to bed angry. And I'm saying this because we are approaching into the warmer seasons, and so many things have been happening. So many people have been passing away. So many people have dying. Listen, don't go to bed angry, especially not with your spouse, not with someone that you love, not with someone that you care about, because we don't know what tomorrow holds for us. We don't know what tomorrow is promised. There's so many people, so many people who have passed away from natural causes in the bed at night. Right? You went to bed
feeling fine
and they didn't wake up. But I went to bed mad at you that night because you didn't rub my back, or you didn't bring me what I asked you to bring me, or simply we just got into a little disagreement. Right? And so now I'm mad. I'm on my side of the bed. I'm mad. You trying to cuddle up. You trying to get a little kiss. And I'm being angry and rude and disrespectful. What happens when we wake up in the morning? Now we want to be refreshed and we roll over and they're not there. And they're not there.
All the leaning in that casket and talking about, I'm sorry, can't take that sting away from what you said the day before. Nobody, none of us have an expiration date on our bodies. We don't know the day or the time that the good Lord will call us to our eternal rest. We don't know if we're going to go on our way to work and something happens on the way to work. And the way the world is now, it's just crazy. You saw what happened out there in was Ohio, where the guy went out there and shot up the FedEx factory.
Oh wow, yeah.
The salon in Atlanta, where the guy just went randomly to the nail salons shooting up the people. The world is crazy. And to be mad at somebody, to have an argument and don't talk to them and don't try to work it out, and you get that phone call, it's just heart-wrenching. And if I know anything about the human mind, all that stuff starts flooding back. Remember you said this to him before he left, or you said that to her before she left? You can't change that.
Right. Right.
So we must communicate effectively. We must be willing to sit down and talk out our differences.
Right.
The word, and I ain't trying to preach now, but the word says a soft answer turns away anger. You got to just take a moment and talk it out.
Have you ever gone to bed mad?
Yeah.
How'd you feel when you woke up?
Terrible.
I've gone to bed mad too. And the Lord really dealt with me. I didn't get any sleep.
Wasn't a restful, trust me, it ain't a restful sleep. And the reason why I say it ain't a restful sleep, because this is what happens. We start thinking about the conversation. And then we say, oh, I didn't get a chance to give my rebuttal. I didn't get a chance to say what I should have said. I should have just told her this, or I should have told him this, and this. And you can't sleep because nothing has been resolved.
And you're right, Monica. It's usually just miscommunication. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's usually just miscommunication where two people are saying the same thing, but you're just not hearing them because you're not listening. You're not listening.
And that anger blocks it out. Trust me. That anger will make you not hear. You might as well be a man that needs a hearing aid, because it'll block out what the person is trying to say to you.
But who wants to be the first to say I'm sorry, though? Who does that? Right? Who's the first one to say I'm sorry? Who's the first one of those? Who's the first one of those to say I'm sorry, I apologize?
Well, sometimes it's you. And then sometimes it's me. Why you give me that look?
You said sometimes it's me?
Sometimes it is you. Sometimes it's me.
Okay. All right.
I haven't always been the one to be the first one to say, I'm sorry. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I haven't always been the first one. I've learned that to acknowledge my part in the situation. The old Chinese proverb says, if you're not part of the solution, you must be part of the problem. What's your part in the problem? Are you looking for the solution or trying to work toward the solution, or you just want to keep the problem going? So we must be willing to sit down and talk to each other. Getting scriptorial again. The word of God says, come, let us reason together. Though your ways be red like scarlet, I'll make them whiter than snow. In other words, even though it's dark and it's not understanding right now, if we can sit down and reason together, I'll make it clearer by talking it out.
Someone says, even if we're not in a good place, my love and I agree to always kiss and tell each other we love each other when we depart from one another for the day. True.
That's right.
True. We should always do that. Even if you're mad, even if you are mad on your way to work and you are upset, you don't know if that's the last time that you're going to be able to kiss your spouse, kiss your significant other, or even kiss your children. Never leave your children angry. With all this stuff that's going on in the world, listen, Don't leave your children angry. You should be covering them in prayer before they leave that house, because we never know. And we don't want to be that parent that gets that call, right? We don't want to get that call from, I remember my son one time text me to tell me that they were in a lockdown. Listen, it was a little small lockdown, but baby, my heart was everywhere. My heart was everywhere. And a lockdown, I wanted to go to school. My husband was like, no, don't leave your job. Don't go to the school. Just wait. Just wait. Just pray. Just pray. So please never leave your family angry. Never leave your family angry. Always greet them with a hug or a kiss, or a soft, warm greeting or something of that nature. Never leave upset. Never leave upset.
And the funny thing is, once y'all talk it out, once it's resolved, you'll look back and just say, wow, that was really silly of us. That was silly.
Okay, so we have Zach. Zach says, I've been trying to rekindle my relationship with my father, but he's a very negative person who is always putting me down and trying to control. I've tried over 5 times and have had no change. Is there a point where it's too toxic to fix it?
I'm going to give you this advice, Brother Zach. It's never too toxic that it can't be fixed. And I see when it's a situation like that, it's like forgiveness. Your job ain't to have them acknowledge what they did, because maybe he's at a point where he can't acknowledge why he feels the way he feels and why he's stuck that way. And until he's able to unburden himself and tell you why he feels the way he feels. See, this is the thing with men, and I ain't trying to get off track.
Oh no, it's okay. We helping people, everybody.
We as men have a problem with barring our feelings, because we are raised and we are reared to say, we are taught men don't cry.
True.
You're a wimp if you cry. You need to be strong. You need to suck it up. Suck it up. We always got to suck it up. And for Black men, our history, Black, Latino, men of color, we have always been put down by the slave owner, put down by society, put down. And even in our own relationships, our fathers were raised by men who probably were hard men. They didn't hug us. They didn't say, I love you. But that's the culture. And sometimes we can't get through to people like that. I often tell brothers when I talk to men or men's groups, in the movie The Color Purple, Mr. Ceely's husband, Mr. Everybody hated him. The women really, really hated him. But back in those days, that's what men did. That's what men thought they were being a man, when they could dominate a woman and not value a woman and make women, woman, you're less than me because I'm a man. And he ain't had much anyway. So I could go into a whole history of why, for a lot of us as men of color, we can't get through to people. But getting back to what you said about that relationship with your dad, talk to him the best way you can. And if nothing else, say, Dad, I know that's what you think of me, or that's how you feel about me, but you need to really try to get to know me, because I'm not like that. And I still love you as my father. I love you as my dad. Honor. And honor don't mean kissing nobody backside. Don't get me wrong. The Creator says, honor thy mother and father that your days may be long. No, he may not like me. He may always have something negative to say about me and put me down. But you know what? I'm going to give him respect as a man.
Hmm.
As long as he respects you back as a man, you respect him back. Um,
Thank you for sharing. Zach, listen, you can always feel free to inbox us, and Ray will be glad to continue this conversation with you after the show. And anybody who needs to talk or to just share or to have a listening ear, listen, this is why we're doing this. This is why we are here, right? We want to help empower people. We want to help empower people. We want the best for you. We want to bring out the best in you and in your marriage. Listen, one person alone, one person alone can go crazy by themselves. But with two people, you have an ear to listen, someone to share, someone to care. And this is the whole reason why we get married, right? We don't want to be alone. We want someone to love. We want someone to love us. We want somebody to build a life with. We want somebody to make new memories with, to experience things with, to build a future together. No one, I won't say no, some people do want to be alone, but no one that I really know wants to be alone, right? No one wants to be alone. So when it's love is easy to fall into, but it's really hard to get out of. It's hard to get divorced. It's hard to get divorced, especially if you have children, especially if you own property, especially if you have 401ks. All of these things come into play when you get ready to get divorced. My mother always said, listen, it's cheaper to keep her. I never understood that until I was older and began to see things happen with people. It's cheaper to keep her. But if it's cheaper to keep her, I want you to still love her, right? Because my mother always says this, and we're going to get ready to close. The first 6 months, you're so in love, you can just eat them up. And then this next 6 months, you wish you had her. Listen, don't be that couple. Don't be that couple. I'm not saying that everyone is not going to get along. We're going to have some bumps along the way. We're going to have some bumps along the road. And guess what? Sometimes some of those arguments and disagreements, they bring us closer together. Because what? As Monica said earlier, it's a misunderstanding. Me and my husband can be talking about something. We both be saying the same thing. I'm trying to get my point across. He's trying to get his point across. But when we do this 5-minute thing, 2.5 minutes a piece, you talk, I listen. When he finishes, I have to tell him what he said. Right? When I finish, he has to tell me what I said. So that we understand that each other understands what the person is saying. Sometimes we have to call that time out. Right? We have to call that time out because we're in that foul right there. We're in that foul. We have to call that time out and stop and listen. Listen, pass the ball to him. Pass the ball to her. And continue to grow together. And you're right. Absolutely, Miranda. It's growing pains. You have to continue to grow together. All right. So we are going to get ready to go. But before we get ready to go, I'm going to say our little closing line, but I do want to do a little giveaway. Because I like giving things away. I thank you for your time because your time is valuable. You didn't have to stay with us. You didn't have to listen and hang out with us on tonight. And I really appreciate you. So each week we're going to be trying to do a little something. Again, we're looking for sponsors for our show. God is really blessing us. We have someone who is writing a song for our show that will be our intro and our closing. We are super excited about what God is doing. Amen. So we just want to be a blessing in people's lives. Listen, so before we close, don't forget the vows matter. It's not the love that keeps us together. And every marriage love may fade for a time. The vows matter because when feelings fade, the vows hold us together long enough for the love to return. All right. Listen, so I am thinking of a number between 1 and 25. I think we had about 20 people on here, but I'm thinking about a number between 1 through 5. If you drop a number, if you are the winner, I will reach out to you. Actually, I'm going to show you the number because I wrote it down right here. If you are the closest
Let them tell you.
I'm gonna tell. They're gonna put the number in here,
Oh.
and then I'm gonna show them after everybody had a
Okay.
chance to enter their number.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So if you drop your number in the comment section right there, we are going to look to see. Okay, I see. Okay, Ashley has 3. Judy has 3. Monica has 4. All right, Diane has 5. All right, 1 through 25. Come on, people. I see about 11. Miss Sherry has 4. Okay, she has 4. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else dropping numbers in there? Any other numbers? Any other numbers? We're going to begin to count down. 10, 9, Ashley 17, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And the number was number 5. Put that number down at 9:03 p.m. so you can see it, so you don't think I'm cheating or anything like that. So the number was 5, I believe. Okay, that's my Diane. All right, so you will receive a prize. We thank you all for joining us. Listen, we are tuning in on Sundays. If you think that Sunday is not a good day for us to do this show, if you think during the week is a better day, listen, send us a message, drop us a line, and let us know if you think maybe during the week is a better time, because we know people are preparing for work on Sundays and trying to get themselves together. So we would love to hear from you. And if you have any advice for our show, we've received some topics that people would like for us to discuss, and we will be addressing those topics in the next couple of weeks. We hear you. We hear you, and thank you for joining us. We love each and every one of you. And remember, love still matters after the vows. Be blessed. Monica, we love you too, sweetheart. You know you're my sweetheart. Talk with you soon. God bless.